Hi everyone, Aiden here with etrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at, and later we'll show you how to install, this Rhino Rack Roof Rack system on our 2023 Volkswagen Tiguan. A roof rack for your Tiguan is a great way to expand the function of your vehicle because, one, you've got these raised rails, so you might as well utilize them. This is going to be the easiest way to get a roof rack because you only have the bar that your accessories will attach to, and those legs that will clamp around the raised rail. This is going to be a great way to carry some extra stuff with you, whether it be a bike rack, a kayak, or maybe a box to get some extra stuff with you on your family road trip. And when it comes to roof racks on your raised rails, this option from Rhino Rack is one of my favorites. It's really quick and easy to install, which you'll see later, and it's going to be just a good fit on the Tiguan. These 49-inch long crossbars don't have too much overhang on them, so it's not a concern of the bar sticking out so far that I'd maybe hit my head on it in and out of the car. And it's very low profile to the roof, so it doesn't add a whole lot of height, and it keeps things very accessible and reachable on the top. And as far as mounting accessories goes, you've got a couple options here. These aero bars are a great way to have clamp around accessories because it gives a nice wide and stable base, and they're not too thick either, so it works great with those clamp around accessories. But you do also have a channel up top where you could channel mount an accessory. And with how low and close it sits to the roof, I actually might advise that for certain accessories, just because you do have limited room for clamps. Just know that if you do channel mount something, you'll have to trim the weather strip to length. And what I mean by that is these rubber pieces here will insert into that top channel and basically protect against any wind noise. If you wanted to slide an accessory into that channel, you'd have to remove this and trim it to length. That's why ours isn't installed today, is because it does require some trimming to get it to the proper length, but this is included in your kit. Now, because of the way this attaches to your raised rails, just clamping around, you can mount them wherever you want, so your crossbar spread can be whatever you need it to be, which is great because then it matches up to our accessories perfectly. The one thing to watch out for is your clearance with the roof, like I mentioned earlier. Underneath, from the roof to the lowest point of the bar, it's only about 1.5 inches, so it's not a lot of room to work with at the tallest point. So if you do plan on going with the clamp around accessory, let's say you're looking at a box, I'd maybe look into boxes that have really low profile clamps, like the ones from Yakima. They make great clamps that kind of tuck underneath the bar and they're very thin. So something like that would work great here. If you have any other accessories you're planning on using, just watch those clamps. And with an overall weight capacity of 165 pounds, you just want to make sure you don't overload the roof rack. You need to take into account the weight of the accessory loaded up there and the weight in that accessory. So if it's a bike rack, what's the weight of the rack and what's the weight of the bike? Or with the box, how much does the box weigh and all the cargo contents loaded inside? And also just check your vehicle's roof capacity because that could be the limiting factor, and you just want to go by the lowest rated component in your whole system. The install here is really not going to get much simpler. You've only got a couple pieces to worry about, and that's really your crossbar and the legs. So 2 legs for each crossbar. And these are the things that are just going to clamp around our raised rails on our Tiguan. So to get them attached, all we need to do is flip our crossbar upside down and take off the end caps using the included Rhino Rack tool. That will unlock and take the cap off. And then you can slide the leg into the channel on the underside there. It might be a little tricky to get it lined up, but once it's in there, it's in. And you can just put the cap back on so that this doesn't slide out accidentally while we're getting up on the roof. Do that on both sides. Now this can go really anywhere on the roof because you have those raised rails. You can pick whatever crossbar spread you want, but just feed it over to one side. Make sure those legs kind of latch around the bar. You can take a measurement from a fixed point to the bar, or if you already have one installed, go from the center of one to the center of the other on both sides to make sure they're running parallel to one another. And then you can start to tighten it down. Now to make that easier, I'm actually going to take these caps back off because the bolt to tighten this is tucked away on the inside. For that, you'll just use your included Rhino Rack torque tool and tighten this down evenly on both sides. Whenever it is at its final torque point, that right there will flex out flat, letting us know that we're torqued down properly. But again, just kind of bounce back and forth. Don't fully torque down one side because it can pull the crossbar out of alignment on the other side. So I'll just get this started, and I feel a little bit of resistance, so I'll hop over to the other side now. Once everything is torqued down, give it a good shake, just make sure that nothing is going anywhere, and then you can take those end caps and just pop them back into place on all sides. That's all there is to it. It's a really straightforward install process and probably one of the quickest ways to get a roof rack on your 2023 Volkswagen Tiguan. Thanks for watching.